Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Choua, and in today's video I am going to be doing my third update to my Pan That palette. And as y'all know, it is my Tarte BU Naturally palette. I am so excited to get this update because I have hit one pan in this palette and I'm ready to share with you how much progress I have made with this palette. This is how it looks like from the last update. As you can tell, we have hit pan in the skin toned shade Crystallized, and you can see that there's some dips in some of these other shades as well. And this is how it looks like today. As you can see, I have hit another pan, which is in my brown shade Daybreak, and I am so happy that I was able to hit pan in this one. Oh my goodness, y'all, like you have no idea how excited I was. I was so happy with myself once I saw the pan in this shade because I felt like I was using this shade so often and so much of it that I was starting to get impatient and wondering like if I will ever hit pan in this shade. But I kept going and I hung on, and we have officially hit pan in this one. So now that you have seen the whole palette entirely and how it looks like since the last update up until now, let's go into every single shade and tell you how many times I used it in the month of March, and then we will set a new goal for the next month. So Sunbeam, of course, is this copper shade here up on top, and I used it 2 times since the last update, meaning I only got 10 uses out of this shade total. I believe I said this in the last update as well, but I think this is going to be the slowest going shade in my palette, and I don't really have high expectations with using up this shade, but you know, as long as I hit the tiniest pan in this shade by the end of the year, I will be happy and satisfied with this palette and this shade. Moving on, we have Explore, which is this dark brown here, and I have used it 14 times in the month of March, meaning I got 40 total uses out of this brown shade so far, and I am so excited because I thought it was going to be close to hitting 100 uses to hit pan on this one, but I'm glad that wasn't the case. I hit pan in the brown shade on March 21st, which is a Saturday, and that was very exciting for me because afterwards I got sick again and I wasn't really feeling much with makeup. So I'm glad that I was able to hit pan before, you know, I got sick again. Next, we have Dusk, which is this pink here, and I used it 11 times, meaning I got 20 uses out of this shade total, and I really like this shade. I have been using it to blend out the crease when I have like a harsh line of like shadow or pigment, and it has worked very well because sometimes I feel like when I go in with my skin toned shade here, it doesn't blend out the way I want it to, and it takes away the color of the pigment or the shadow. So using this pink one has helped a lot, especially if I'm wearing more pink toned looks. So I really liked it for that. Next is Earthy. I have used it 6 times, meaning I have used it 20 times total in this project so far, and I was actually surprised that I only reached for it 6 times in March. I thought I'd be reaching for it a little bit more, but you know, looking back at all of my No Pan Left Behind palettes that have been rolled in, there are pinks in there and shimmers that are more appropriate for some of the mattes that I have been using recently, so that would make sense why I've only reached for this a couple of times, or not a couple of times, 6 times, instead of really reaching for it 14 times in the past. But you know what? It's okay. I feel like it's still a really nice shimmer that I can reach for at any given time. Next is Tropical, which is this inner corner shade that I use a lot, and I used it 13 times in the month of March, meaning I got 39 total uses out of this shade here. and it starts to crumble a little bit. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it in the photos, but it kind of has some like little balled up parts in it. And when I do go in and dig into this shade with a smaller, more precise brush, it does tend to have these little balls or like little clusters fall out. I mean, it is what it is. This is a older palette, so maybe that's why it's like that, but I'm not too sure. But it still works really well as a inner corner highlight, and also to top off the lid if I want a little bit more brightness. Next, of course, is the most used shade in this palette, Crystallized, and I have used it 26 times, meaning I got 68 uses out of this shade total so far. And of course you can see I have expanded the pan quite a lot. I don't think I need to repress it up until the point where it's literally just hanging on the perimeter of the pan, but as of right now it's still doing well. It still blends well. I'm still able to reach for this shade without really damaging my brushes, so it's still good. I still am going to keep reaching for this to set my lid before I go in with any other shades, whether it's in this palette or different palettes. The next shade is Glacier, and I used it 3 times, meaning I got 11 uses out of this one total. And I have kind of really try to reach for this one in the month of March because of St. Patty's Day. It's very green and gold month, and I have been using this to really try to complement some of the grungier green looks that I have been wearing, and it's been working pretty well. And I also have been using this in the inner corners as well, alongside the tropical shade here to really make it more golden than anything else, and it's been really good for that. And lastly is our tan sand-like shade here. I have reached for it 6 times in the month of March, meaning I got 28 uses out of this shade total. And I think it's going strong. I don't need too much of this shade. I have been using this shade really to soften up the other shadows I've been using and blending it out. I also use it today to really create this look, and I really like it. I feel like it softens the look a little bit, but also adds some of that natural grunginess back. So I really like it for that. And I don't need too much where I have to pack it onto my brush and go in. I can go very lightly with it because of the pigmentation, and I really like it. That is my Panda palette update as of today. I feel like for the next update, I really want to hit pan in both Dusk, which is the pink, and Tropical, which is the inner corner highlight that I use. Just because Dusk has a big dip in it already, and I feel like if I just go in it at least 15 to 20 more times in the month of April, I'll be able to hit pan. And then for Tropical, if I just continue to use this as an inner corner highlight and possibly even use it as like a brow bone highlight, I might be able to create the smallest pan in this shade as well for the next update. This has been a really quick update, but I really like these kinds of updates because I feel like I just really get to the point and just let y'all know how things are going, and then setting goals for the next time. So like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Comment down below on what you would like to see next, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.